Hello, my name is Paris Mahmoudi, and this is my speech for Comm 100. The year is 2050, and the heat around the world is unbearable. Each week there's a natural disaster more intense than the last. This is costing billions of dollars, and every day is a fight to save your life. While the future sounds like every cliche natural disaster movie, it's actually a warning of what's to come. One important question asked by Lauren Hancock is, why are glaciers important? And there's a very good answer to reason why. Glaciers act as a cover over Earth and our oceans. These bright white spots reflect excessive heat back into our solar system, keeping Earth and our oceans cooler. Being a former resident of living near the ocean, I saw a big difference in where we lived. I also, like many of us, have family members that live outside of Arizona. This makes it harder to help them in emergencies. For example, Texas this year and their recent occurrences. If we can understand why our glaciers are melting, how to stop them from melting, and what are the effects if we don't stop them from melting, then we can help stop climate change. Our first topic is, why are the glaciers melting? It may serve as no surprise that humans have been the cause of this since the early 1900s. This is when the Industrial Revolution started. As this revolution started, it caused higher and more greenhouse gas levels and carbon emissions. This, of course, caused temperatures to start rising, and not only air temperatures. Our oceans retain 90% of Earth's warmth. With the outside temperature increasing, this also made our oceans hotter, and the oceans being connected to glaciers started melting them faster. Now that we understand why our glaciers are melting, how can we stop this rapid process? In an article written by Sciencing, they suggested alternative energy, like the new and increasingly popular electric cars. They also introduced individual solutions, such as carpooling or simply driving as little as possible. Living in Arizona, it's understandable that this isn't sustainable for everyday life for us, so they introduced little things such as turning off the lights when they aren't being used, unplugging electronics when they aren't being used, and simply turning off water when brushing your teeth or washing your hands can be a huge help, especially when you put it in a huge scale, as in the entire population. Now that we understand how to stop the glaciers from melting, what will happen if we simply didn't change anything at all? We all know that some places would increase in extreme heat and some places would drop in extreme cold. However, we also have already had a half a meter of sea levels raised. In an article written by Urbadola, they state that Southeast Asia has been the only way and only place that has been able to withstand the 9.6 billion tons of glacial ice melted since 1961. On top of that, we are also losing 335 billion tons of sea ice every year. This means that we will also have to cut down on population due to less fresh water. We would also lose a ton of species, both aquatic and terrestrial. With this, we would also have to cut down on irrigation and hydroelectric fuel. The public would also have less access to fresh water. In conclusion, it is up to all of us together as a whole to help make the world a happier and glaciered place. If we can understand why the glaciers are melting, how to stop them from melting, and what will happen if we don't stop them from melting, then we can understand how to make our home a better place, and we won't have to lose the chances of losing the place we call home. Even though the future isn't as exciting as every natural disaster movie, it is still a very real nightmare of what's to come. Thank you for listening to my speech.